just going to get this on the road. So let's just go right to your report there, Dr. Annett.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me again, Don. I
Welcome,
appreciate it.
everyone, by the way, and Dr. Annett, thank you so much for being here, and take it away.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Well, this last month we received some really disturbing news from Europe, and as people might know, there's a satanic cult called the Ninth Circle. It's something we exposed over the last few years doing our common law court cases against the Vatican. And this is from two former members of the cult and Vatican documents that refer to the Ninth Circle going back several hundred years. It's a child sacrificial cult. They meet on certain times of the year, and they're doing a big series of sacrificial events on April 30th, which is Beltane. It's or Walpurgis night. It's a satanic high point in the year. And we've listed the cities where this is happening. We even know some of the Catholic churches where they're going to be conducted, including this one. I don't know if you can see it on the screen.
You want to share screens? Can you share screens?
Yeah, it's up there. Can you see it?
No, I don't see it. You know how to share screens, right?
It's up. I am sharing it. It says it's sharing at the moment, but let me try it again. Anyway, the church that you may or may not see,
there we go.
It's called the San Lorenzo Church in Rome. It's just a few blocks from the Vatican. It's run by the Jesuits, and in the basement of this church, usually on February 23rd and 24th, there's sacrificial rituals, and this is one of the places that's happening on April 30th. We know the top leaders in the Ninth Circle are going to be involved in this. And so in the result of this, our common law court in Brussels issued or reissued what's called a papal nullification order. It basically says the Catholic Church is a criminal body, and citizens and police are authorized to go in and shut down these rituals. So there's teams that are planning to go in and stop these child killing rituals on April 30th. And this is a very important step. We've tried this a few times. The only other time it's ever worked was in Montreal, Canada, where we did stop one of these rituals, but it's on a much bigger scale now. And it's very disturbing because these activities seem to be increasing all the time. One encouraging thing, though, is as part of this plan, politicians in Europe are beginning to debate it for the first time. In the Belgian parliament, this was mentioned. The Ninth Circle was mentioned for the first time. And so it's beginning to get out there in the same way that these reports of child trafficking and rape and that, internet porn and that are getting out more and more. So we wanted to alert everybody to this. And what we can ask people to do is on April 30th, which is a Sunday, it's next Sunday, go and protest outside the local Catholic Church because they are funding these killings. Even if the people who put the money in the pews in the collection plates aren't aware of it, they are helping to fund these crimes and to cover up the institution responsible. So that's kind of our big news right now. You can see this at our tribunal website, itccs.org. That's the International Tribunal of Crimes of Church and State, itccs.org. Also murderbydecree.com.
Yes, we have that here. I have it on the screen. That's very good. So that's the main thing that's happening right now, and that's pretty awesome, or pretty awful, really. So.
I have a couple of questions. Can Dr. Annett hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What is the possibility of getting assistance with the ITCCS here in Fort Smith, Arkansas area? And can we, anyway, collaborate on information? I've so far not been able to contact you for a long time now. And well, Don and I just went through trying to get Dr. Freebot to, information out, and it's kind of becoming more and more restricted.
Yes.
Can you assist us with that? Can you try calling me, see if we can get through?
Yeah, just if you want to give me your phone number, I can give you the phone number to leave messages for me at if you want. It's 386. 323. Okay, to start again, it's 386-323-5774. That's
57 what?
386-323-5774.
574. Okay.
Got it.
5774. And you can also try emailing me hiddenfromhistory1. That's number 1, hiddenfromhistory1@gmail.com.
Yeah, I don't think any of my emails are going through. Also, I'd like to put out a shout out to the Scottish to participate in the ITCCS, because this is so very important that we all work together internationally for the right purposes, not the New World Order. Anyway, it's caused these problems, but for the right purposes.
That's right. Also, I wanted to tell you that we have groups operating in America. One of the places we know that these sacrifices are going to happen next week is in Washington, D.C. at the it's the Episcopalian Church right next to the White House in Lafayette Square, and we know that there's one there too. So we've got a whole list of them we can send to you, and again, it's up online at itccs.org.
Once again, the heavy censorship. With all these problems, this is one thing I really want to get out while I'm able to actually talk to you, is that my family is stuck at the Basilica Chapel. Bonnie Prince Charlie, his father and mother, anyway, and I wanted to get them out of there and home to Stirling Castle, but I just wanted to at least express this and try to get them away from. We never were Catholic, just accused of it. And if you could kind of keep that in mind, I'd appreciate that immensely, because they're not going to be, anyway, go with the Vatican fail or whatever you want to call it, because this is, it's coming down to crucial issues as you are bringing out.
Right. Well, like I say, leave a message at that number and I can call you. We could talk about a lot more of this offline.
I'm hoping we can get through. I've tried for years to talk to you. So anyway, my family heritage brings tremendous censorship. Well, Don just went through an absolute mess. We were trying to get Dr. Freebot's information out, and that was just a joke, wasn't it, Don?
Yes, it was.
Absolute serious joke, though, unfortunately. He had such tremendous information. Okay, do you have a suggestion for what we should be doing, Dr. Annett?
Well, we got to educate people about this stuff. So, tuning in, we have a blog radio show every Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific. It's called Radio Free Canada, bbsradio.com/Radio Free Canada, Kanata. We also post on Veterans Today Live. I don't know if you can see that, but their media network posts all our stuff. And so our shows are posted there every week. You can follow it on their media network. But in terms of what people can do immediately, not just educate, but make a stink. Go down to these Catholic churches, hand out flyers, and we can send you copies of these leaflets we hand out all over the world. Say to the people in the pews, you are part of an organization that has a policy of protecting child rapists. It's a policy in the Catholic Church called Crimen Solicitatis. When children are raped, the priests are ordered they're to cover it up and not tell the police, or they'll be excommunicated. That means every child who walks into a Catholic church is unsafe. And the people have to be educated about this. Plus, they've got to be told that they're funding a child-killing institution, the satanic ritual killings that go on within the Catholic Church with the help of their money. So at a minimum, don't put any money in the collection plates. And when we give people that message, it sends the church leaders around the bend in a panic, because the one thing they really fear is to lose their money and to lose their public image. And so that's where we can really hit them where it hurts. And so we found in Canada, when we started doing those kind of protests at the churches, they folded very quickly. The government had to admit the crimes of genocide in the Indian boarding schools, and they eventually had to issue an apology because we were doing those direct actions at the churches. So I really urge people to do that kind of thing and contact me. We've got a lot more stuff that people are involved in, so we can also get people to get involved in our common law training program, how to set up local common law courts, establish citizen sheriffs who can make these arrests against known child raping priests, that kind of thing. So there's a lot we can do in our own communities. That's where it's got to start.
Yes, for people in your community, you Republicans or Democrats for that matter too, go back to the Republic. If you want to stand for what the founding principles have stated, then go back to common law. And when you have your political meetings, use that as an assembly to reinstate the common law. Please listen to Kevin Annett.
Right. Well, thank you for that, Pat. And I also want to show folks this book we've got out. Just put my name, Kevin Annett, in at Amazon.com, and all my books will come up. But this one is very important. It's called Establishing the Reign of Natural Liberty, a Common Law Training Manual. It's only $10. It gives you kind of an outline of how to set up a common law court, you know, the whole philosophy behind it. And it's just like you say, I always envy Americans because you have right in your Constitution, every citizen has an unalienable right to a common law jury trial. And that's unheard of in Canada. They're all crown courts run by judges who are directly controlled by the government. You've got that tradition. You have the tradition of community sheriffs as well, where they're elected by the community and not answerable directly to the feds. So those are vestiges of the common law tradition out of England, and they're alive and well in America, and you've got to use those to your advantage.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what we need. You have a sample of your flyer you want to have shared?
Oh, not on me, but I can send it to both of you. If you just send me your emails, I'll send you copies of all of that.
Oh, okay.
I'll put my email on the, Don, I'll put my email right here on the Skype board for you. Okay. And if you don't already have it. And the phone number you can reach me at.
Murder by Decree.
It's right there in the...
Hidden from History at Gmail, is that one?
Hidden from History 1 at Gmail.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, when we're very active, I'm on a speaking tour a lot, and I was just over in Europe. I'm going all over North America now, so please contact me and I'll come and help folks. We set up training workshops and try to activate the community at the grassroots.
Very good, excellent. And the grassroots really need this. I just can't believe that this Catholic Church has been able to get away with all this for how many centuries? And,
well,
and also...
It's mind control, and it's billions of dollars. That's how they can do it.
That's true, and it really must be mind control, because when I look at the Bible and I look at the life of Jesus and see how he is and it's supposed and things, and I look at this Catholic Church, I don't see anything of the like. So I'm not sure where they get off being a church, and they're definitely a cult. And if they're doing things that are against what Jesus' love and all the wonderful fulfillment of the divine love that's exhibited throughout the wonderful universe that we can't imagine. I mean, well, if it's Don, so opposite, it's just terrible. I mean, where do they get away with this?
Yeah, no kidding. And Don,
yes.
This is why the priests preach that they will read the Bible for the parishioners. Yeah. And they don't read the Bible. They're not really encouraged to read the Bible because they say it's too hard to understand. No. Everyone, read it for yourself. Yeah. And you need it. That's how they've gotten by with it. There's certain little nuances that they've added to their religiosity. And we've got to get people to understand, just because when you're a member of a Catholic church, then you've got a kind of a carte blanche on a lot of different jobs, and or, if you make money, you can keep it, and. There's a reason why the Catholic Church wants to be controlling all of the different types of licensing and et cetera, and certification goes on, the list goes on, because of power and control. Folks, wake up to it. Don't let them keep up with doing it, because that is just facilitating power and control so they can stay in control of you. No. You need to control you. You need common law courts. You need to take it back to the people and to understand the basic founding principles of freedom.
Right.
And also,
yeah.
Well,
go ahead. Following on that, Pat, it's really important because the Catholic Church is not a Christian religion. A Christian believes that Jesus Christ is the intermediary between heaven and earth. A Catholic believes the Pope is. And actually, the title
That's terrible.
The title of the Pope is Vicarius Christi, which means the replacement of Christ. That's what it means in Latin. It's right out there for everyone to see. He says, "I am the replacement of Christ." So it's a pagan cult. It has nothing to do with the Christian faith, and that's why they burned anyone who tried reading a Bible up until just a few hundred years ago, because the Bible contradicts the Catholic Church at every point.
Well, and I remember somebody said that God has no religion. That's a guy named Gandhi said that, and essentially, and religion is man's attempt to define the undefinable, almighty everything, and it can't be done. And so, if we just realize that we don't know enough to understand that, but we should just appreciate the amount of love that is there and in the creation, and just go with that and. Don't go to any big Catholic or any kind of church so much. You don't want to go to a denomination so much, but just understand the nature and appreciate that love and share that love. If God, this almighty creation, loves the universe so much, He loves you so much, just share that love, and that's where it should be. And the heck with all this ritual and stuff, and any human trying to tell you what God is doing. No. You need to just get that one-to-one relationship. You don't need to have any intermediary.
No, you don't. That's the point.
That's the point. Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. And George Washington said it too when he said, "All of us have that spark of divinity in our heart."
Amen.
Which is our conscience, and you don't need a priest gets in the way of that.
Oh, really? Oh, playing alms and everything. Yes, I think that gets in the way. All right.
Yeah.
And so all these people celebrating Mass and stuff, and Mass is just a mess, I guess, and it's just, the mind control is just awesome. I mean, I can't imagine that people can be that gullible, and of course, it starts at birth, and they raise him up and train up the child the way he shall go, and he just sops it up as a SpongeBob and just, and just lives under that tyranny for the rest of his life and ends up in purgatory or hell or doing terrible crimes.
That's why the Catholic Mass is very similar to the Satanic Mass. They both involve cannibalism. The Catholic believes that he is literally eating the flesh and drinking the blood of Christ.
Oh, God.
And that replenishes him. A Satanist believes the same thing. They kill a baby and eat the flesh. That's part of the ritual. No. And it's modeled very closely on the Catholic Mass.
And so all the things that you've been talking about with the government schools and things in Canada where they were taking the indigenous kids in there and essentially for purposes that were not proper. And
that's right.
So you've done a heroic job of getting the word out to the masses that need to know that things ain't right, and we got time to stop it and correct it and get back under that divine love of God and understand that, and nothing else needs to apply. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, we keep trying, and I appreciate that you keep having me on all the time, Don. It's thank you, because it's the only way we get out. The corporate media is totally controlled, and they shut out this message. So it's only through people like you.
Yeah. Well, we're doing what we can, and hopefully we're doing a good enough job for you here. So
every bit helps.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So anything else you want to say, take home message or anything?
That's my report now, but we'll have more in May. Maybe I'll come back on and give you more updates in May. Just want to remind folks to go to itccs.org.
Yeah.
Order our books at Amazon under the name Kevin Annett, and we'll talk to you soon, Don. Thank you.
Well, thank you ever so much for your wonderful input and things. So everybody just get with it and understand that religions are not where it's at. God is where it's at, and you just got to have that one relationship with that wonderful, awesome intellect created everything we can imagine and use here in this world, and everything is sort of neutral, but we can use it for good or we can use it for bad, and it looks like the churches have gone not from good, but they're definitely on the bad side, and especially this. So it's something to really rot your socks and to think about and go back to the core and look at the foundations of your religion and other things and understand that It's really not what you've been preached at and indoctrinated with, but just get back to the love there. And so,
amen, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to both of you.
Okay,
Thanks to both of you.
Okay,
Talk to you soon.
God bless. You take care.
And you.
Yeah, no, so
Thank you very much.